Friday the 22nd of February, and doggone, it's snowing harder now than it was. It's really getting with it. About 5 inches over here on the bench is rapidly growing into 6 or 7. Well, I had a little time yesterday and was looking at those comments on my videos, and I was most certainly amused by the fact that the strongest reactions had to do with the great thing in the heart of America today, sports. I guess it's mainly a male thing. No way to know when you read the comments that they came from men, but chances are they did. Weren't many. Wasn't anybody said anything good about my opinion of Bill Belichick. I guess after all, if you're a fan of the Patriots and you're happy, you just thought my video saying that Bill Belichick's a class guy was right on. In fact, I was in the Cincinnati area when he got caught cheating there at the start of the last season. The Cincinnati paper thought he was a pretty bad guy, but the editorial writer on the sports page said, of course, in New England they think he's king. They don't think he's a cheater at all. They just think he's a competitor. Well, you know, looking at sports, I wonder sometimes how much cheating we will allow because the people like it. You know, I played a lot of basketball, officiated a lot of basketball. I know what traveling is. But what traveling is, by definition, at least the basketball I learned and taught, isn't the basketball that's being enforced, not the rules that's being enforced in the professional basketball. Man, I'm telling you, it was drilled in us, and we practiced and practiced how you made a pivot, that you could catch that ball, you could land, and you could pivot on a foot all you wanted to as long as you didn't set that other foot down and then lift that pivot foot. But if you did, you traveled. You could catch that ball as you were cutting to the basket, and if you caught it in the air, the first foot could hit, that's okay. The second foot could hit, that's okay. You don't get that ball out of your hand before that third one hits, you've traveled, and good Lord Almighty. I guess it was back in the Michael Jackson day when we liked to see him get up ahead of steam and fly. Anyway, rules get broken every day in sports. Watched a basketball game the other day that was decided very unfairly, the sports announcers said, because there was no real harm done when the opponent practically knocked the other team member out of bounds with a body block with only a second or two left on the clock, and it resulted in a free throw that won the game. Why, it shouldn't have been that way. It shouldn't have been called. Should have been allowed to go to overtime and let the real playing decide. Well, you know what? When I was calling, I was taught that if the foul is committed, you call it. I say 3 cheers for the referee that called it. But the spectators like to see overtimes. Shouldn't have been called. Should have let them have that for an overtime. I don't know. We're a strange society. But anyway, the men that were upset because I think Bill's got some class. One of them said, I bet you never cheated. Huh. I wish I was that good a man that I've never cheated. I think I've already told about the fact that one time I had a basketball team that when I was trying to teach the press, small town, small turnout for basketball, a lot of difference between that first team and second team, but a big old football player on the second string got frustrated at how easily the first team could break the press. Well, when the old football player slugged the really good basketball player and broke his nose, I cheated. Scared the liver out of me that something like that would happen on my watch as a coach. And I said, hey, what I saw was an elbow. As far as I know, there wasn't a kid that didn't report that Donnie got hit by an elbow. That's cheating. That's cheating just as sure as any other kind of cheating. I think I reported it somewhere else. The truth was that it ended up that it saved our basketball season, because Donnie was an all-star player, so said by the state tournament officials the year before. He didn't believe in team play because, after all, he was an all-star. So while he's out with his broken nose healing, we get some team play going and we start winning. And when Donnie got where he could play again and I'd put him in the game, he'd make some baskets. Boy, that kid could. He was, like all these Kobe Bryant types. He could go at it and get it in. But team play went to hell as soon as he's in there and made his 2 or 3 baskets. Have to take him back out. Let team play get reestablished. And anyway, we made it to the regionals that year, playing an all-star man, in and out. Because if he was in, team was out. Winning was out. And I guess that was because God let the kid get his nose broke. I don't know. But I cheated. You bet I cheated.